Tonight we welcome back The Cure with their first new single in a few years, and we've got the first play of it on BBC Radio 1, and to help us celebrate is Robert Smith on the phone right now from... Where exactly are you, Robert?
I'm in Toronto at the moment making a video for the single. For
the End of the World.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Great track. I've heard it before anybody else obviously has heard it listening to the show right now. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But sort of does the term classic Cure, does it sit well with you when they throw words like classic around?
Well, the new album's called The Cure, and it's supposed to represent pretty much all that we enjoy doing.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm quite happy with it being called Classic Cure.
I always sort of feel there must be a little more pride attached to self-titled albums, you know, to sort of call a record the name of your band as well, and to make it all fit together. Is that true of this record?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the band thought I was being kind of tongue-in-cheek when I usually stick it on the wall, like the working title of the album when we start recording, and I just put up The Cure, and they're going, no, that's what happens when you do your first album. I just wanted to, I felt like after a certain period of time, I thought we feel like we're kind of starting again in a strange way. So
yeah,
that's why it's The Cure.
It makes sense, right? You've got a new producer, Ross Robinson, who a lot of people listening to this show will be familiar with his knob twiddling at the Drive-In in the past, Slipknot, Glassjaw. He's got his label, I Am Records, which you've signed to. So I was going to say, does it sort of feel like a fresh start, sort of overall for you after this many years? Yeah, I mean, we haven't worked with a producer as such since the very first album. So it's 25 years since I've been in the studio and someone's telling me what to do. So it was in a lot of respects, it was just like the first album. It's like the gear we were using was vintage gear, so that it was the same gear that we were using when we did the first records. How much do you sort of credit the sound of the new record to Ross? I mean, obviously, like you say, it's been 20-something years since you've sat down with an outside party who's had something to throw, you know, into the equation. But he's got a very sort of unique sound, I think, on the records he's produced in the past. Will fans hear that on June 28th on the new album?
Well, I think like many Cure fans, I suppose there was a slight apprehension as to what Ross was actually going to do with us, because he is known for really kind of, sort of very hard hitting kind of like toppy bass drum and kind of like screaming wall of guitars. But it was strange when as I got to know him before the project started. I began to realise that he actually really likes the melodic sort of pop side of the band. So far from making like the heaviest album ever recorded, which is what I thought we were going to be doing, it is much more like one of our kind of like mid-term sort of albums. That was sort of the reference point that I was getting a lot, because it kind of moves. It starts off pretty heavy, but it actually moves into a very kind of gentle melodic kind of space in the middle of the record. How disappointing for you, man, to not be able to throw all those guitars in the mix and have that wall of sound. It is a very guitar-driven album, but it's not. I'm going to have to wait for a little while longer before I make my big rock album.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and we really appreciate the first play of the single as well, and looking forward to dropping it right now. It's called The End of the World, and it preempts a brand new album, which is self-titled, called The Cure. It's out June 28th, and Robert, good luck with the rest of the video and the touring and everything. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.